Hello children, so welcome to the class. Today we have a new chapter. This is what? Force and pressure. So today we are going to learn about force and pressure. So today we will cover only the force part. Okay, so in the next class we will cover the pressure part. So today we will cover the force part. Now question arises, what is force? We are very much familiar to this word force. Okay, so we all using that term force, but when we come to know about the proper definition of force, then many of us can't give the proper answer. Okay, so thing is what, say you are pulling the door to open. Okay, or you are pushing the door of your car. Okay, or you are pushing or pulling the windows of your home. So these are, in this case, this act, because we are acting upon the object, we are acting upon the door. Okay, and this act is what? Either pushing or pulling, and this is known as force. Okay, so pushes and pulls that act on the object. What is the object? In this case, the object is the door of the home, or door of the car, or the window of the home, and these are the object here. So this is known as force. Okay, and now question arises, see, if you want to close the door with very hardly, okay, with very extreme force, then you will pull it or push it with more energy giving there. So these are, that means what? The harder you push or pull, the greater is the magnitude. Magnitude means what? The strength of the force. Suppose you are applying 10 Newton force, so 10 is here magnitude. Okay, and suppose you are applying say around 5 Newton force, then 5 is here what? Magnitude. So the harder you push or pull, the greater is the magnitude. That means the intensity of the force will be more. Obviously it is very common, you push hard, the force will be more, and you pull hard, the force will be more. You push or pull less, the force will be less. That means the magnitude of the force will be less. Okay, now question arises, the direction in which a push or pull is applied. See, if you are asked what is the direction of force, say this is the pin. Okay, say this is the pin, I am keeping the pin here. Now pin is in rest. Now I pulling this, so this is the pin here. Okay, now I am pulling this pin this way. So as I am pulling this pin to that side, to upper side, therefore the direction of the force will be upside. Now I am pushing the force. Now I am pushing the force to the downside. Now therefore the direction of the force will be what? Towards the downside. That means what? In what direction you are pulling or pushing an object, this is the direction of the force that time you have applied. Okay, so suppose a thing is what? A football placed on a playground will not move on its own. Okay, say there is a football in the playground. Say forget about the football, just compare this pin. Now this pin is here. Until I am not going to apply the force, this pin will not move. Okay, so when I will suppose apply the, say I am pushing it, this time the pin is moving. Say I am pulling it, this time the pin is moving. Say I am throwing it like this time also the pin is moving. That means what? Similarly, when the football is in the playground, until you don't kick it, that means until you don't kick the football will not in motion, he will not go in motion. That means he will not move. So therefore the interact with the football when you apply the force. So to get the force, here it is a pin. To apply the force, we must interact means what? We must make the connection. Now I am making the connection with my fingers with the pin. That's why that we are making the interaction of my fingers with the pin. So this time it is what? This time it is pulling, or this time it is pushing. So both case we are applying the forces, we are getting the forces, and both time we are getting the interaction of the pin with my hand. Okay, so same case for the football, we must get the interaction with the feet of the footballer to get the football moving. Next thing is what? So that means we come to know that when there is a force applied, at least two of things are there. Now it is the pin. Okay, if I want to apply the force, suppose like that, so what is there? The pin is there and my hand is here. So as my hand and pin, there are two objects are there, na? So at least two objects will needed for applying the forces or to get the forces. Okay, so next thing we have again, see, net force. This is very important. What is net force? So we have given what the total of all the force applied to an object is called net force acting on that object. Now for to simply understand this, see here, I'm going to show you an example. See this, consider these two. Okay, this is object, this there are two objects, f1 and f2 force are applying here. So we are applying the force in this same direction. The force, see the arrow mark indicate in the same direction na? This is the arrow mark in this direction, this is also in the right hand side. So in the both case we are applying the same direction force, therefore the net force will be what? Net force considered as a f equal to f1 plus f2 because the direction is same. But in this case one force is applied in the right hand direction and f2 force is applied in the left hand direction. If I consider f1 greater than f2, maybe you can consider f2 greater than f1, but here I consider f1 greater than f2, therefore the net force will be what? F equal to f1 minus f2 because from the large one we subtract the small one. So here the net force will be what? F1 minus f2 when the opposite force are applied in the opposite force are applied. Okay, that means the opposite direction. And this is a very common example is tug of war game. Tug of war game, in we apply the force in the opposite direction na? So one more condition is there. What? See here it is, suppose f1 and f2 are two force there. When f1 and f2 both are equal, that means suppose two persons are there, both of them are applying the force in the opposite to each other. Okay, since they are applying the same force, so the f equal to 0, that means the net force will be what? 0. In this case the net force will be 0. Why? Because the opposite force are in opposite direction. Also f1 and f2 have the equal magnitude. Magnitude means what? Strength of the force. Say it is the 10 Newton, then it is also a 10 Newton. Okay, so again come to the point. Next we have, so we come to know about a net force. Okay, and there is some example of equal force. See in here, in the both side they are applying the equal force, so there is not any net force, that's why they will not move in any direction. But here it is what? Their force applying into, see, in this side, that is in the left hand side, the force are more, that's why the net force will become this large force minus the small force, and we will get a numerical value. Okay, so now question arises, now we come to know about force and we come to know about the net force. Now the question arises, what is the effect of force? That means what will happen if we get the, if we apply the force. Okay, so thing is what? See, force effect of force on stationary object. Now stationary means what? The object that are not moving, that is the object that are at rest. Okay, so what will happen when a force is applied to an object at rest? It make the object move. That means say the pen is at rest. Okay, now I apply the force, so the effect of force on a stationary object. Okay, the pen is now it is not moving. Okay, so it is a stationary object. So if I apply the force, the pen will move. Okay, and whether the direction, either in this side or that side, either pulling or pushing, same thing, if we are apply the force, the pen will move. That means the stationary object get the movement if we apply the force. But this is not possible. Say, can you move the wall of your home? Obviously you can't. It is the pen, it is very small in size, so we can move by applying the force, but we cannot move the wall of our home. Okay, because what? Because the amount of force required to move that wall or to break that wall very more than our muscle force. That's why what we can say that the force changes the state of object. Also it has the tendency to change the state of stationary object. So we can say that force changes the state of stationary object for this small one. Also it has a tendency to change the state of object of the suppose wall and suppose very hard and very big stone, we can't move this, but it has a tendency to change it. If we apply the very much amount of force, then maybe it can be moved. Okay, so next one we have effect of force on moving object. So what happens when we apply the force on moving object? So there are two things are happening. Say suppose you are traveling by a car. Okay, say you are traveling by a car, so suddenly say you see that from the opposite direction there is another vehicle is coming. So what you will do, you simply apply the brakes. Okay, you simply apply the brakes, and your speed of the car, suppose it was at 80 km/h earlier, now it is become 60 km/h. So what happened, you applied the brake, that means you applied the force on the brake pedal, and the speed of the car become less. That means you can slow down, okay, slow down the running car. Also say you reach your destination, that time you have to stop your car. So that time also you are applying the brake, and this time what happened, this time your car completely stop. That means you can say that force can slow down or stop a moving object. Okay, also say you are moving in a car by say around 60 km/h speed. Suddenly you got very emergency, some urgency work. Okay, then the person say, whoever the person is moving in the car, he suddenly increases his speed. So he, suppose 60 km/h, he increases his speed to 80 km/h. So we can say that force can make an object in motion move faster. So from 60 to become 80, so it move faster. Also see, when a footballer, or when in a cricket match, suppose a bowler bowl the ball. Okay, when he bowl the ball, the batsman hit the ball by using his bat, and hit means what, he applied the force, and that time he changed the direction of the ball. Okay, he changed the direction of the ball. That means you can say force can change the direction of moving object. Okay, because he changed the direction of the ball by applying the force using his bat. Okay, so next one, effect of force on shape. So on shape, we come to know about the on stationary object. Also we come to know about that one, which one we come to know about that non some moving object. So now have we force effect on shape. So this is what you make, you used to take chapati at your home, okay, or whatever, in parties and in outside also, we all take at least once in a lifetime, we have taken it. Okay, that we eat chapati. Okay, this chapati is made, it is from dough is shaped into flat chapati by the application of force. So you are you are using the balloon, and what you are applying the force there, and you make it flat chapati. Okay, so that means what you can say, by applying the force we can change the shape of an object. Okay, same thing. So application of force can change the size also, because the dough was first, if at first it was spherical size, so when you use the balloon and make it flat chapati, then it is also become, it is remain at circular size, but it thickness become less. So you can change the size also and shape also. So there are some important, from following all the observation, we can say it force can change the state of rest of a stationary object. That is, I have already given in my video. So it can slow down or stop a moving object. From the car example I have given it. It can make a moving object go faster. Also I give it from the car example. It can change the direction of a moving object, because I give the cricketer example, that the batsman hit the ball and change the direction. It can change the shape or size of an object. I give the example of chapati. Okay, so force can therefore be defined as that which change or tend to change the state of rest or state of uniform motion or the shape of an object. So you can give this definition also, that force can define as a state of rest. That means rest, whatever thing is in rest, we can change it to the motion. And instead of uniform motion, if one object is moving in uniform motion, we can change the motion or the shape of the object, that is the size and shape. Okay, now After that we have types of force. See, there are two types of force. One is contact force and one is non-contact force. So from the name you can understand that contact means and what is non-contact force means. So contact force means what? Force that act on object by coming in contact with them are called contact force. That means the object should be come to the contact to apply the force over it, and that type of force are known as contact force. That's for the pain. For a pen to apply the force here, I must make the contact with my hand. This is okay. So this is known as contact force. And so contact force are also classified into two types. One is muscular force. Muscular force means what? Whatever the work we are doing, say you are coming to school by lifting the bag and also by pedaling the cycle, these are some muscular force. You are writing, say you are writing like that by using the pen, this is also a contact force, and this is also muscular force because we are using our muscles to get to write it. Okay, so this is known as muscular force. And the frictional force is what? See, when we move a bicycle, okay, when we move a bicycle, say you make pedaling for very fast for some time, okay, after that you release the pedal, okay, then the bicycle will go on, and after some covering some distance it will stop. Why it is stop? Because there is a force between the wheel of your bicycle and the surface of the road you are traveling. That means the road you are traveling and the wheel of the bicycle, they both have the surface now, and there is a force between that two surface, and this surface force are known as frictional force. Okay, and this frictional force always act opposite to your applying force. Say you are moving in the cycle to the right hand side, then the frictional force will apply the force to the left hand side because of opposite to your direction. That's why the cycle will stop after covering some distance. Okay, so these are what? Contact force and non-contact force. Secondly, we have non-contact force. Sorry. So non-contact force are basically number one, gravitational force. So gravitational force is what? In our universe, say you, your friend, your school, your in your classroom, that desk bench, the teacher, the blackboard, the switchboard, the fan, the light, whatever the object we have, all the object have attraction between itself. That means we all attracting each other, and this force is known as gravitational force. And obviously here we no need to make contact, to each other. From distance also we can attract each other, so this is known as gravitational force. And this is the very common example that earth also have gravitational force, and for that the Sir Isaac Newton give an example that the apple that come directly towards the earth from the tree. Okay, why? Because of the gravitational force. And earth also have the gravitational force, and this gravitational force is highest in our world. Why? Because the earth's surface is the highest surface. Okay, that's why all the gravitational force, all the thing, all the object, all the moon, even the satellite are also placed in such a manner that it can revolves around the earth because of the earth gravitational force. Okay, the satellite are placed in our space. Okay, they are placed in such a distance so that they can cover, they cannot go to the outside of the earth gravity, also does not come to the earth, very get that directly come to the earth direction. Because of what? Because of if they are placing in that manner, then what will happen? They may be fall to the earth, so they are keeping in such a distance so that the earth gravity are also working over it, and also it does not go beyond earth gravity. Okay, so one last we have to discuss about now, and this is what? This is all about weight. So when we went to the market, and very commonly we are using what is your body weight. Okay, actually what weight is not the proper term. It is just the measure of gravitational force exerted by the earth. That means how much force the earth applying, above your body, or upon your body, and these are known as weight. And the weight is always different in different places. Understood? One object weight, suppose one person weight in our locality is showing any value, then maybe they can show different value in another part of the world. Why? Because this is depend upon the gravitational force exerted by the earth, and earth does not apply equal amount of gravitational force to the all object in across all over the world. It shows in some places it shows more gravitational force, and in some places it shows very less gravitational force. Okay, that's why the weight of the object in moon is very less as compared to the weight of the object in the earth, and it is around 1/6 times less. Okay, if your weight, say I am saying it, if your weight is 36 kg at the earth in the earth, then your weight will be 6 kg in moon, because 1/6 times less. That's why 36 divided by 6 you will get 6. So weight is different and it can vary place to place. Okay, so thank you. That's all for today.